Welcome to A Double
Double
and Dice
with your host Kim.
and Jocelyn.
Pour your favorite beverage
Pull up a comfy chair.
as we are ready to roll.
Welcome to episode 21 of A Double and Dice. And today we're going to be talking about a new product that's dropping. It's going to be the Dark Phoenix Saga. That's the name, right?
That is the name.
Or is it the Dark Phoenix Saga? Something like that. Anyways, it's dropping 1 week, well, from yesterday and the day of this recording, 1 week from today, which is December 2nd. But we
it's
don't
the big
know.
but.
Yes.
Because Universal's website, from our insiders that have access to such things, say December 30th. Although the WizKid solicit still says December 2nd. So
We don't know.
it's coming at some point. It would kind of make sense that it's not going to be on track for December 2nd because we haven't seen any preview product in the wild. No one's gotten a display to open. There's been no physical product anywhere.
Product in hand. Yeah.
Right? There's some spoilers, which is kind of the topic of today's episode. And we're going to talk a little bit about, some of the stuff that's coming in this set. But that's all like electronic images and stuff. We haven't seen anything physical yet.
And Universal distribution is Canadian. I think they use something else in the States.
Alliance.
Yeah. So that's what our website shows for distribution. So I'm not sure what the US shows. Maybe someone can tell us if they know.
Or folks over in Europe and the UK. Not sure when they're going to get it.
Yeah.
But, it is coming at some point in the nearest future.
Yep. So we were pretty... So you actually just told me today, when we're actually recording this, that about the December 30th. I didn't know.
Yeah, I saw a post on Facebook. Well, actually, Rob saw it, and then he told me about it, and then I saw it. And then, and then we checked with our sources. And, so I guess we'll see. It will get here when it gets here. It is the COVID times. Things take time. Shipping takes time. Stuff has to get here from places. So we will get it when we get it. But in the meantime, because we planned this episode when we thought it was coming out the week that it would be released, the episode would be released, that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yep.
Yay.
So on the yay, what are you thinking about this set? What's your excitement level on this set?
Well,
X-Men again.
Honestly, my excitement level is amazing.
Yep.
So if it's like a 1 to 10, where 10 is like your excitement level, my excitement level is like a 12.
Wow.
Because I'm just excited for new product. And what makes me most excited about all of this is that we don't know everything in the set yet. So there's a couple dozen spoilers out of like 150 some odd cards. And there's some speculation, some pretty strong speculation about what we're going to see. But I'm just excited that we don't know everything in it yet. That's what makes me excited. I want to open a pack and be like, I've never heard of this card. That's what I like. So
you're one of those who probably don't want to look at really spoilers?
I don't tend to look at a lot of spoilers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I my joy in this game has always been from opening it, not knowing what it is, figuring out how to use it. And even if I do know what it is, figuring out how to use it in a different way. So, with Infinity Gauntlet, which I just opened, my last sealed pack of Infinity Gauntlet that I had, it was awesome because I opened it. I didn't know what was inside. I was like, I really hope I get a super rare. And I did. And then I built a team out of that pack. And that pack was actually kind of a challenge to build from because I had 4 characters in that pack that were doubled, where I had 2 different rarities. So I had 2 Ebony Maws, I had 2 Ghost Riders, I had 2 Nebulas, and there was something else I had 2 of. It was kind of a weird pack.
Tutusi pack.
Yeah, lots of doubles. So it was really interesting. And the super rare that I pulled out of that pack was a Black Widow. So although my first display feed only had 2 super rares, I was one of those unlucky folks. My second one had 3. So anyway, we're talking about Dark Phoenix, which is also draft packs.
But that is the excitement about draft pack. You don't know what's in the pack. As a campaign box, you kind of already know when you see pictures or the list of it, right?
Yeah.
So you don't know. You know what you're getting there, but packs are exciting.
Yeah, and I like the campaign box model too. I'm just excited for new product. I'm excited for new things to play with. Some of the spoilers that we have seen are pretty freaking cool. It does seem like the power creep is real here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Kim?
My excitement level is probably, I don't know, a 6 or 7.
Because it's X-Men?
Because it's X-Men. I have nothing against X-Men. I like some of the characters, which we'll get into a little bit later. But it's just it's X-Men again. I felt like we just got that campaign box. What was it called again? X-Men Forever. So just to see another X-Men again, maybe 80% is same characters. That's why I'm not really that excited. Now, I'm also like you. I don't really look at spoilers too much. Spoiler alert, we're doing a spoiler thing, but I don't read the text on the cards too much.
And I would say
I have to, or it's in front of me and I have to. But so I guess that's the excitement part, is I don't know what the text read.
And I think the other part of that too is I might read the text and I might look at it, but then I don't remember what it does because I haven't used it yet. So when a card really sort of resonates for me is when I have an opportunity to use it. I know there's some people out there that they're master brewers and they can brew just from looking at card text and figure out how they want to do stuff. That is not me. I need a physical card in front of me. I need to play with it. I need to figure out how it works. I need to figure out how it works with, different things. I got to try it out for myself. I got to do it, You
got to feel the card.
Yeah. I have to get the energy from the card and the dice, and then I'm like, oh, I don't like that die, and I throw it away. And you can do that now because with draft packs you have so many dice.
Oh yeah. Usually when I get like 5 or 6 of the same die, I go through it and see which one has the best marks on them and the paint's right, and if there's one little chip or paint off, I'm like, nope.
Well, this last pack that I just opened, and Rob opened one too, from his display. He still has 4 packs left. And anyway, his dice weren't rolling, my dice weren't rolling. I'm like, we need to throw all these dice away. Like, none of these dice are working. We'll put them in the art project bin. We'll come up with an art project to do with them. Anyway, so you can do that with draft pack, which you can't really do with... You can do with campaign boxes. And I guess it's probably not really more expensive in the long run.
No, because if you buy 2 campaign box, that's like, for us, that's like $70.
Yeah, whereas I will not disclose how much money I've spent on Infinity Gauntlet so far. But I can tell you it's a lot more than $70. So, but it's fun. I like opening the blind packs, and I like getting new product, and I like seeing how it interacts with other stuff, which is kind of weird because, in a way, we've talked about how my favorite format is modern, because there's not so much to choose from. And
it's getting there, though, unless they rotate next year. But
more product means more to choose from, which means it gets more overwhelming. But that's okay.
Yeah,
it's all good.
12's a good number. We'll see. Maybe I'll get excited once we get in. I look through the cards and I'll be like, oh, that's a cool ability, or that's pretty cool. maybe my excitement level might go up just because I don't read the text, right? So
yeah. So if you are someone who does like spoilers and wants to know where you can find some of these spoilers that we're going to talk about today, where can we find all of these spoilers, Kim?
You can find them on DM North, which we spoiled one of the cards. It was our trivia night. So you can take a look there.
One entire rarity run of cards.
Yes. Well, we can let them know who it is.
Yeah, it's the
Canadian.
it's the Hugh Jackman.
Yep, it's Wolverine. So you can take a look there. Go through a video if you go through the whole video if you like. Do the trivia, and then you can take a look at the spoilers. Brit Roller 6 has a lot on their website, and they've done a few YouTube videos as well.
Yeah,
which you can find them at the Ministry of Dice on YouTube.
But I really like how their spoiler page is set up. So our friends over at the Ministry of Dice, Chris and Andy, and Chris runs the website there, britroller6.com. He just did a revamp of the website, which is pretty awesome. So right along the top, you have your menu, and it has unreleased set spoilers. So you can click on that, and it's got pictures of all of the cards from the upcoming set that have been spoiled. So it's really easy to go through.
Our folks in the UK, dmunited.eu, they have a whole site on it as well, I believe.
UK/Europe.
Yep. And I believe DM Armada did some YouTube videos on them too.
He certainly did, and he spoiled one of the ones that I want to talk about anyway. So
you could find it all there. I don't think I missed anyone.
And if we did, we're sorry. Right. We did not do it on purpose. Just let us know, and we will correct it in our future episode.
Yep. So most of the information that we're going to be talking about and going deeper is information we got from those folks. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Start with Kim.
Well, since we talked about excitement level, let's go to the art.
Okay.
Have you looked at the art and some of the spoiler cards?
I have, yeah. So I'm actually on britroller6.com right now, and I'm going through the spoiler video the spoiler images. And there's some really cool art on here. And what's really interesting, so this is Dark Phoenix Saga, but in Heroclix land, they're spoiling House of X. So House of X Heroclix is coming out the second week of December. The current date for that is December 9th. And as I'm going through the art on these cards, a lot of the art here, or at least some of it, looks like the art from the House of X Heroclix set, which is really weird because they've just announced a House of X Dice Master set for next year.
Mm-hmm.
But the art is in the Dark Phoenix Saga. So anyway, just thought that was a weird thing. But like I just watched all the Scott Porter videos of the unboxing of the House of X Heroclix stuff. So there's a Jean Grey here. I really like this art. I don't know any of the artists, but the Jean Grey art is used in the Heroclix set. And one of the basic actions, Rally, that is a reprint, but the art on this basic action card is like box art from the Heroclix set, and they're using some of that same stuff. You got the Jean Grey, the same image of Jean Grey there, same costume, the Professor X in the center there, and the Magneto. You can see all of that art in the House of X Heroclix series, so I thought that was interesting.
It's funny you bring up Jean Grey because when I first looked at her card, it almost reminded me of Poison Ivy. The Poison Ivy card from Harley Quinn.
I could see that, for sure.
Red hair, green
outfit.
Yeah. Except I don't think Poison Ivy has a mask on.
Probably not.
But yeah, it just like popped to me. It looked like Poison Ivy.
Yeah, so I think the art is really cool. There's some of it that I like better than others. It does look like they've pulled from a lot of different sources, like a lot of different artists. Whereas I felt Infinity Gauntlet had a fairly consistent theme. A lot of the art might have been from the same artists. This has a lot of variety in it, in the style, right? So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, because Mystique looks very realistic. Looking, a lot of them very, I wouldn't say cartoonish, but more not really comic book style, like Cyclops, if you look at that one. And then there's like the comic book styles, Dark Phoenix, Cyclops, kind of. Not Cyclops. Yeah, Cyclops, sorry. The one that really like is funny looking to me, which looks completely different than his other card, is Bishop. Did you see that? Yeah, did you see how that card looks?
I'm looking right now.
I know we're talking about it, but you would have to like see it. I can't really describe it. But in the X-Men First Class, he would look pretty, muscular, and in this one, I don't know what it looks like.
It's interesting, and I guess that's maybe Storm in the background.
Yeah, that looks like Storm, yeah.
And then I don't know who's in the foreground. There's another character in the foreground of this, so it's an interesting piece of art. So, but I would say the art looks pretty cool. I'm not as excited about the art for this as I was for Infinity Gauntlet. However, I do think they've picked some really cool images, and I think some of these, once they have the foil, what do you call it, treatment, I think it'll look just as good as what they did with Infinity Gauntlet. They've really been paying a lot of attention to the art lately.
Yeah, I think foil will look really good in some of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll look pretty good in foil.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the art. Some of them are okay. Some of them are like, wow, that's gorgeous. It's just because of the bright colors.
Yeah, and I think it really just depends on your style, right?
Yeah.
So I will say that art is not something that I usually pay a lot of attention to on the cards. And this is the same for my reading habits. I don't read a lot of graphic novels or comic books. I read some, but I didn't grow up reading it. I grew up reading regular novels, and it's just, for me, I read a lot of the text, and I have to always go back. For example, if I'm reading a graphic novel and really pay attention to the art, I usually read through it, and I'm like, I missed something, and I realized I missed the art, and I have to go back and read it again. Or really make a conscious effort to pay attention to that. So the art is not something that I tend to focus on. Really, I look more at the abilities and the text and things like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And speaking of text, I know you were happy about Infinity Gauntlet because of the text written on the cards.
No, I'm not happy with Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, you weren't happy with Infinity Gauntlet?
No. I would say that the text on the cards in Infinity Gauntlet and also in Dark Phoenix is harder to read. Although it's better than I expected it to be based on the previews, I still find it challenging to read. But if you look at any of there's a couple of spoilers out, and we over at DM North, Matt and Laurier did a video of some of the information that's available for the upcoming Kryptonite Crisis. And if you look closely at that, there's a basic action card or an action card that's been spoiled, and you can see the text looks different there, and it's a lot more readable. So I think WizKids has taken the feedback, because it's not just me, other people have said the same. It's out there in the community that the text is hard to read. So I think WizKids has taken that feedback and is trying to make a change for Kryptonite Crisis. So, but this one, I mean, the graphics on the spoilers look pretty good, but I don't know how it's going to turn out when they actually print it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like to be a little bit of a heavy shadow on the text.
Yeah, and
like dark black. Maybe that's what's making it look hard to read.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And it's the globals that are extra hard. So the red with the black and on the full art background, and so anyway, but yeah. So, but the cards look cool, and I think they look really neat. And then I guess we know about a couple of new keywords we're getting, right, Kim?
Yes, we know 2 of them. 1,
founder.
2,
loyalty.
Yep. Is it? Yeah, it's loyalty, which is a token based.
Yeah, so we don't
concept.
know whole lot about this stuff yet, and I think that probably the most information that's available about this would be from the Ministry of Dice. If you go check out their YouTube channel, they did a video on both founder and loyalty tokens. So you can check that out about how that's working, or how we think it's going to work, or how Chris thinks it's going to work. The keywords page has not been updated yet, and the information that we have about founder and loyalty is fairly sparse at this point. So what do we know about founder?
So founder, usually with a keyword, there's usually a text in brackets that tells you what the keyword does. But when I was looking through some of these cards, none of them said anything for founder. So there was no brackets next to it. So I guess we're speculating on what it actually does. When I was looking through some of the text in the cards and reading it, it looks like it's some kind of special ability. So every card, well, not every card, which I'm assuming a core of the X-Men characters. So I guess the originals. Again, I'm like you, I don't really know much about comic books and stuff. Other than just different worlds and different this and different that.
Well, I think you know lots of things about stuff, Kim, just maybe not about comic books.
Yeah. So I'm gonna guess there's a core of the X-Men, I guess the originals or whatnot. And they each have this text of founder written on their card, and in the text also, as the sentence goes, I think they also list founder. So maybe if they have it on the card and they just give each other special abilities of some sort.
Yeah, so I'm looking here at a card, for example. So Angel, this is the uncommon Angel. It's Jean Grey's School is the subtitle. The art's pretty cool. It actually kind of looks like stained glass. It's kind of neat, and it's got like I guess it's Mystique in the background, and I don't know who the other one is. Maybe
I don't know.
Jean Grey, maybe Phoenix.
I don't know.
Don't know. Anyway, someone else. Someone who knows comics can tell us. So his card says Founder, and then it says while Angel is active, other character dice with Founder get +1A. So I think those are two different things. I think founder is something, and then the second part is an ability, right? It's not like energize. So his common, Wings Over the World, says energize hyphen target sidekick die gets +2A this turn. So we know energize happens when you roll a die on double energy, and then you use the described. So I think founder does something, but then Angel also does something extra for founders. So we'll have to learn more about what that is as we get closer to the set release. So it'll be interesting when we find that out.
Yeah. So like if you look at, he also has founder. So maybe if Angel's active and Beast is active, Beast would get +1A because he is the founder on his tax card. Yeah. And his ability, too, which is the first class one, which looks like the uncommon one, also says when he's active, when a character die with founder attacks, prep a die from your bag. So maybe each card that has founder written on it gets you to prep a die. Doesn't say...
When a character die with founder attacks, prep a die from your bag. So Beast would have to be active, because this is Beast is active. And then any character die with founder attacks, you get to prep dice. So that's kind of a cool thing. So it's almost like, it almost feels like an affiliation, but not
in text,
right?
Yeah.
So it almost feels to me like a Heroclix theme. Here I am again, drawing back to Heroclix. Heroclix cards, the Heroclix characters all have what are they called? Theme names, tags, whatever at the top of their cards. Some of them are named, so they're like in bold, and some of them are italicized, which mean generic. So they could be like X-Men or X-Force, or I can't think of any of the other ones right now. Or they could have something generic like robot or scientist. And in Heroclix, those give you a theme team. So if your whole team has the same keyword, you get some special abilities. Keyword? No. Anyway, theme team. So this almost feels, in a way, sort of like encouraging you to build a theme team around this founder word, as opposed to just like an affiliation.
Yep, yep, and it'll be probably based on a core set of characters, not everybody, which looks to be like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Iceman, those core.
The people that were around in the beginning.
It's interesting. I mean, I think it might, if you're building with them, it'll definitely work because they'll have the synergy.
Yeah.
But if you just put one on there and you don't have another, then it doesn't really work, right? So you would have to build the teams around them.
Yeah, so we'll see how that comes out, but it should be interesting. I think it'll be kind of neat to play in a little bit of a different way.
And the next one is loyalty.
Loyalty counter.
So loyalty gives +1A and +1D for each token that a card has on it, which reminds us of what ability?
Experience. From the D&D set.
Which is exactly the same, I believe, right? It gives +1 and +1.
It gives +1/+1, but I don't think, and from what we've heard of this so far, is that loyalty is similar to experience, but is not the same. So experience in the Dungeons and Dragons Dice Masters sets historically came from KOing a monster. So if you KO'd a monster and you had a character die with experience, then you would gain, for every monster KO'd, you would gain an experience token for all of your experience adventurers that were active that turn. But then in the most recent sets, Adventures in Trouble in Waterdeep and the Zentarum, there's different ways to gain experience. So you can gain experience not just from KOing monsters. And I think that's sort of where loyalty counters come into play. So I'm looking at Gladiator here in the spoiler list. The Empire Must Stand. And it says Overcrush, which is not related, but just on the card. When Gladiator,
it's hard to read. Yeah,
I can't even read it.
It's KO'd.
I don't know if that says Gladiator. I think that says something else. I think that says Liliandria.
Oh, there's a misprint. Look at us getting misprints.
I don't think it's a misprint. I think it's coordinating with this Liliandria card.
Oh, okay.
Because if you scroll down, there's a card called Liliandria.
Yeah. So Gladiator and Leandria are actually new characters that we have not seen before.
So this is when Leandria is KO'd. Put a loyalty counter on Gladiator's card. Loyalty counters give a character die +1A and +1D. So this feels to me more like experience gaining in the most recent D&D set, because it happens when an effect happens, right? So like there's a card in that set, in the D&D set, is it Volo, that when you field an adventurer, you can put a experience token on the card.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There's different ways to gain experience. So the loyalty counter kind of feels like that. So yeah, and definitely I would say this Gladiator card is kind of cool because it's got a stat line of 055166077 with Overcrush. And then if you start putting loyalty counters on it, like that card could get pretty good fast. I'm just looking at Leandria here. Probably not the easiest die to KO. She's got a 3/5/6 defense. But, if you're playing in Constructed, just throw a Nylor on your team.
Yep. Yeah, there you go, and you could KO her.
Yeah, Nylor Global, pay a mask once per turn, KO a character die you control. So that would do it. But in draft, of course, that's not going to work.
No. And I noticed too, and I've never seen this, and I'm just looking at it right now, is I have no idea what affiliation that is. It's a red circle with a yellow wing looking.
I think it's supposed to be a gladiator helmet.
I'm not sure what that affiliation is called. Maybe someone can drop us a mail on that, unless you know, Jocelyn.
I'm gonna guess it's the gladiator, but I don't have any idea. So
yeah, I've actually never seen that before.
Yeah. So it's cool that we know that there's at least 2 new things in this set from that perspective, like the founder thing and the loyalty counter thing. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So, and then to that point, there are some new characters in this set. So we just talked about Lilandra.
Leandra, yeah, something like that.
Whoever's name I can't say.
Gladiator.
We've had Gladiator before, haven't we?
We have?
There's a zombie Gladiator.
Oh.
I think. Gladiator zombie? I think there's a zombie.
We have had Gladiator. You are right. From Amazing Spider-Man.
You've got Moira in this list. Didn't you have a Moira in the X-Men stuff?
M-O-I, right? No.
Yeah. M-O-I.
Yeah. Nope. There's no Moira listed. Nope.
Okay.
So she's
that's
you.
Cool. There's Master Mold.
Yeah.
Who else?
Some of these characters I don't know who they are.
Do you know who Moira is?
Moira?
Yeah.
No. No, do you?
Yes. So I got a subscription to Marvel Unlimited and decided to start reading the run of Dark Phoenix Saga. So I figured that out. I'm not very far into it because I don't have a lot of time to read comics. And when I usually do have time, it's like right before bed and I don't want to put my iPad in front of my face. So I have started to read it, but Moira McTaggart is sort of key to some of this X-Men stuff. And I know that later in this House of X thing that's coming in the pipeline, she's super important. So, but we don't want to talk about that yet because House of X is coming and we can talk about that later.
Okay.
And most of that I know. Some of it I know from Rob, and then the rest of it I know from watching Scott Porter unbox the Heroclix. Because he talks about the comics. Who else do we have?
Corsair. Okay. I don't know who that is either. Deakin or Deaken. Don't know either. I never heard of these people. Deathbird.
Well, that sounds cool. I want a Deathbird, don't you?
I haven't seen it. I'm looking actually to find the picture of. Do we have a picture of that one?
I don't know.
It is a girl. There you go. It's a woman.
I just think it sounds cool.
Deathbird was deadly. Come on.
Got death touch.
Vulcan.
Mm-hmm.
I think was the last one.
Cool. So those are just the ones we know about.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. So who knows if things change? But we don't know. We're just speculating at this point.
It is good to see new characters because, to your point, we have seen a lot of these characters multiple times.
Yeah. Which is good for dices, I guess, if they're the same stats.
Yeah, but I guess the other thing too is this set will be the first set for somebody.
True.
Right? It's not going to be your first set, and it's not going to be my first set. But hopefully, someone's going to pick up this set and for their first ever Dice Master set. And if they don't have their favorite character in it, like whatever, Iceman or Cyclops or whoever, maybe they won't be interested in it. Right? Maybe if it's only characters like Moira McTaggart or Deathbird that maybe you're not familiar with, maybe that wouldn't entice you to pick up this game. Maybe you need Beast and Cyclops and Angel to make this happen. Right? So although we've
really thought about that, yeah.
Yeah. Just putting myself in someone else's shoes, Kim.
You know who I'm excited for?
I do, but you say it.
Gambit.
Yay!
I hope. Well, they spoiled a dice picture of his from AVX. His picture on that dice is the same. A card, flaming card or some sort. And no pictures yet. I'm not sure if it's confirmed he is in the set, but if he is, I'm so excited because I'm hoping he's a cool character, and I'm hoping he has a cool ability too. But yeah, I like Gambit. I think he's one of my favorites, who's not really around too much in the X-Men series, but I think he's one of my favorite, and he actually shows up on Jubilee's card in the background.
Cool. Yeah, these cards are really cool. So even if you don't want to read the text, I'd encourage you to go take a look at the spoilers just so you can look at the art, because the art is pretty, and it's very different. So
I think that Angel will look really good in a foil, just because it's colorful.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about any particular spoilers, Kim? Was there anything on your list you wanted to chat about?
Particularly, not really. Did you?
I have one thing I want to talk about.
All right.
So I want to talk about Mr. Sinister.
All right.
The reason I want to talk about Mr. Sinister is Mr. Sinister has 4 rarities. We have a common, uncommon, rare, and a super rare. And unlike Dice Masters in the past, every one of these cards has a global, and each global is different. So 4 different globals on 4 different Mr. Sinister cards. So we've had it before where you've had a card that only had a global on a particular rarity. So I'm thinking about like Professor X from X-Men First Class, which had the Psychic making global. Pay a mask once per turn. Field a Psychic die from your use pile. That was only available in X-Men First Class on the rare version of that card. It wasn't on the common or the uncommon. Then when you go to Infinity Gauntlet, Professor X, no, it's on the Collector. The Collector has that same global, but it's on all 3 rarities of the card, the common, the uncommon, and the rare. Which I thought was really cool because now you're not chasing a rare card for a global ability, right? You have it on any rarity of the card. But then Mr. Sinister got spoiled. So DM Armada did a super awesome video about this. Strongly recommend you check that video out, where he spoiled all 4 of the cards. But there's, like I said, 4 different globals. So I'm going to go through them, if that's okay, Kim.
Mm-hmm. If you can read it.
And then I want you to tell me which one you would play.
Okay.
So the first one is pay 2 bolts. Target non-sidekick character die gains deadly.
That's his common card.
That's the common. Yeah.
Okay. Non-sidekick character die gains deadly. All right.
So you can give any character except a sidekick or an ally deadly just by paying 2 bolts. Now, this is something that I thought about a lot of years ago when I first started playing this game. I'm like, I wish I could give some of these abilities to cards with globals, right? And now here it is right in front of me, Mr. Sinister common. I can give somebody deadly by paying 2 bolts. Okay, uncommon. Pay 3 generic. Ignore target attacking character die's text until end of turn.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
That's
These
the
are
uncommon.
quite good so far.
Mm-hmm. Now we have the rare. Pay 2 generic. Field a sidekick from your use pile. Prep a sidekick die from your use pile. So this is the what do we call it now? The Atlantis Global, or previously the Star Labs Global.
Yeah.
Except those required 2 different energy types.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Atlantis is Fist Shield. This is 2 generic. Yeah. So you can use any energy type you want. You just need 2 of them. Okay? Now you ready for this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, super rare. Pay 3 generic. Target character die gains Overcrush.
These are pretty good globals.
So what I think is really awesome about this is that you have to pick. You can't have all of these globals on your team. You can only have 1 because you can only play 1 Mr. Sinister card.
Yeah.
So you have to pick. It's not like they put these globals on 4 different cards, like different characters, so you could put all of them on the same team, because that would be like super overpowered. But by putting it each on these cards, you have to choose. And some of them might be harder to get, like the super rare, harder to find. There's, I think, 16 super rares in the set. But it's really cool. I think it's really cool. So which one would you, if you had all 4 of these cards, Kim, which one would you pick?
It's tough because it would have to be, for me, it'd have to be based on the team you're building to really pick one. But if I had to pick one, if I wasn't even thinking about team building, I would go with the pay 3 target. Was it? Ignore target attacking character dies text until end of turn.
That's really strong. I think all of them are strong. I think that this is just my 2 cents on it. I think there are enough inexpensive, heavily statted overcrushers right now that you probably don't necessarily need the overcrush global. Mm-hmm. I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love Deadly. And what I like about that is if your opponent is attacking, you could block and then give your blocking character die deadly in the global window. And then their die would be KO'd.
Yeah, it's like a sidekick easy block. Yeah. Give them deadly. There goes a big character.
Yeah. So I think that is really cool. I mean, you have to have 2 bolts to do it, but whatever. There's ways to do that. And then I think, to your point, I think the ignoring the attacking character dies text until end of turn is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of, like, the Beckies. People could shut her down that way.
Oh, I guess the question would be, would it ignore the keyword? I don't see why it wouldn't.
Yeah, it says
text.
So that usually means everything on the card.
It does usually, yeah.
Including globals?
Including globals.
Yeah.
So, interesting. I think all 4 of those are cool. I think all 4 of them have their place.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm super excited by all of that, and that's sort of the coolest thing for me that I've seen so far.
Yeah, because that's the first time they're really doing something like that.
Yeah. Now, in Infinity Gauntlet, Hela has 2 different globals.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She's got 1 global on certain rarities of her card that says pay 2 generic, and you can prep a sidekick die from your use bag. Or your use bag. Prep a sidekick from your bag. But then on another rarity of her card, she has a villain making global. I think it's a 2 energy global to make something a villain. So that's something that they did in Infinity Gauntlet, but it's not all the cards, and it's not 4 different globals. It's, it's just 2 different globals on 3 rarities or whatever. So anyway, I think it's neat. There's a lot of, I was going to say power creep, but some of these cards are reprint of old cards, which are overpowered, right? Or similar to overpowered older cards, like from ABX and things like that. So I don't know if it's power creep, but there are some very powerful cards in this set. But I would say that's more meta-y stuff, and we like to focus more on the fun, which is why I'm excited about this deadly thing.
Well, I guess I have to say I'm excited about Regenerate Wolverine for, Orbital Strike. But his Regenerate one is super rare. So.
Well, Kim, I am sure that someone will get you a Regenerate Wolverine if you don't. I
actually don't even really know what his what does it say here? I can't read this. On the asterisk, if you have at least
3 different active X.
That's just 3? Okay.
Affiliated characters.
Wolverine can't be spun to an energy face or re-rolled. So that's actually pretty good, because since there's a lot of rolling down to energy in the Infinity Gauntlet.
But you need 3 different active X characters, which is a fair amount of characters in the field. So.
Yeah, and I don't know if there'll be anything that gives an X-Men an affiliation.
That'd be cool.
We haven't seen all the cards, so you never know, but
yeah,
I think he's the only one we regenerate from what we've seen. So
yeah, so there's some cool stuff. And if you haven't already pre-ordered this from your friendly local gaming store, now's the time, because it may or may not be shipping this week, depending on where you are. And if you have, then I'm sure that you are like us, anxiously awaiting to open your packs.
Yeah.
So
it should be good. We'll see.
Good stuff.
We will patiently wait.
Patiently.
Maybe we'll get it before Christmas and it'll be opening a Christmas present, or it'll be after Christmas, then it's a New Year's present.
Or maybe it'll be January. It'll be 2021. We'll see.
We'll see.
Anything
else you want to add to Dark Phoenix?
Just that I'm excited to get some new product and to play some more.
Yeah. Cool. Me too. Yeah. Though it's still X-Men, but I'm still excited because it's obviously a new set, some new characters.
You're probably excited about the Superman set coming.
Yes. I'm a DC fan, so I'm excited about that. I may even drop and buy 2, Jocelyn. I don't know.
2
That's
displays?
Much excitement. Yeah. Excited I am.
Well, we'll see where we're at, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So what else have we got this episode, Kim?
What's in our mailbag? Did you get any feedback this week?
We did get feedback this week. I think some people felt bad they didn't send us feedback before.
Hopefully we didn't make you feel bad.
I hope not. We want to hear from you, but only if you have something to say. You're welcome to say anything you like. We love to hear from you. We did hear from a couple of folks. So let's start with Nick. Hey, Nick. Nick sent us a message that started with, "Oh no, I dropped the ball and didn't correspond after the last podcast, 3 exclamation points.
You're forgiven. We know why. It's okay.
Baby Link is cute. As long as you keep sending pictures of Baby Link, we're good." So Nick says, first he wanted to talk about Dice Social, which I think is awesome because we love Dice Social. He says, "Let me say, I think you all have achieved your goals with Dice Social. Everyone seems to be having a good time, and nobody is going hyper-competitive. The casual atmosphere has been great for building whatever wacky idea you want." So thanks, Nick. We're glad to hear that you agree with us that that's working. We're pretty happy with how Dice Social's been going, and the participation has been awesome. So, really excited about that. And again, everyone's having a good time, and it's very casual, and we don't even keep score, so it's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're
getting wins and losses don't matter. It's just you get to play somebody new every round, so that's good. The next part of his feedback was about affiliations. Mm-hmm. So we had talked on our last episode about single affiliation, and we built our single affiliation teams, or a version of a single affiliation team for what is currently the upcoming Dice Masters versus Cancer event, but by the time you listen to this, it will be the past Dice Masters versus Cancer event. So Nick says he just played Brotherhood in Dice Fight. It's got some nice variety for options. He did use the rare Avalanche, so I think he brings this up because, Kim, you considered putting Avalanche on the team.
Right.
And
yeah, because I built Brotherhood in our last episode for affiliation.
Others. He said, I think you can have villains, you just can't choose that as the affiliation. Anyway, since most Brotherhoods are also a villain, it lets you deal 1 damage to the opponent's characters after each character. Do you want to pull up the Avalanche card there so we can read
it's the rare one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So pull it up and then we'll come back to that.
Okay. He says go ahead.
He combined that with the common Quicksilver with Impulse,
which
I think we also talked about. The crazy, how do you know which one to field and whatever if you buy multiples. To get an extra character fielded next turn, in addition to what you roll, it turns into a good way to clear the field. It can get nasty with the Juggernaut that gets +2/+2 each time a side is KO'd. So, rare Avalanche?
Okay, so rare Avalanche, Quake in Your Boots, says, when Avalanche is active, when a villain character die is fielded, deal 1 damage to all opposing character dice.
Cool. And then what does common Quicksilver read?
Quicksilver read common. Is it Terragenesis is the name?
Yeah.
Impulse. You may pay Bolt. If you do, during your next main step, field Quicksilver for free on his level 1 side.
Yeah. So, and that's regardless of Quicksilver's location.
Correct, because we had that discussion.
Yeah. So we don't need to repeat that. You can listen to our last episode if you want to hear us chat about that. So yeah, it is a good potential removal because to Nick's point, you can play Brotherhood. A lot of the Brotherhood characters are double affiliated Brotherhood and Villain. And the villain doesn't not exist. It's just it can't be the only affiliation on your team, right? So you can't build around villains for the Dice Masters versus Cancer. So yeah, so I think it's interesting. He then continues on and says he was shocked, Kim. Can you believe this? Shocked that I didn't choose Guardians as my affiliation for building a team. He said he would have assumed I'd be all over reliving the super rare Angela or the new rare Angela with Infiltrate shenanigans.
Yeah, Infiltrate's your favorite.
It is. It's a very fun mechanic, but I wanted to try something different. And I do love Super Rare Angela, but I also feel like Super Rare Angela is just too strong, right? I even found using Rare Angela in the teams that I've used her so far, I love it, giving all of my character dice Infiltrate. but it can be very strong if your opponent doesn't have anything to negate it, and then it just feels like you're like walking all over them, and it's not really much of a fun game. So yeah. And then he ended by providing some options for superhero names. So we had put out a call for my superhero name. You are Super K. And J Balmy just doesn't roll off the tongue. So we were trying to come up with a superhero name that I could use on Discord. So he said he's still working on it, but he gave 3 options. So he said the Stitcher, which I think is interesting because I have my Etsy store, Joss Stitch, and I like to cross stitch and sew and crochet and all those things.
And if you need a dice bag,
etsy.com/shop/Joss Stitch.
There you go.
Just don't expect it fast. Things have been slow lately.
Especially with this shipping these days.
Yeah, it's the shipping, Kim. That's what's slowing things down. No, I'll get back on track. It's just been very busy at work. The other one, he also recommended optical collusion. So sort of play on optical illusion, as I am an optician. And then the last part of his email or message said, you do claim to be a baby whisperer, which is true. Babies love me, and you just put them in my arms, and the crying usually just melts away. But I don't think baby whisperer is going to be the top pick here, Nick, but I do appreciate the thought.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I did mention on our last episode that prior to this, the only person who'd sent me suggestions had been Kim. So, Kim, what superhero names did you suggest for me?
Stitch.
Yeah.
Which is similar because Nick said Stitcher, so
yeah.
Because of your or you can actually go with the name that you use for your Etsy store, Joss Stitch.
Yeah. So those are the names that I heard here. So then we heard from Andy May. Hi, Andy May. So Andy has also sent some superhero name suggestions. So he came up with the Boomerang, and he said it's sort of taken and sent a Wikipedia link. So I pulled up the Wikipedia link for Boomerang, and it says Boomerang comics in parentheses. Boomerang Frederick Fred Myers is a fictional supervillain appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. He has been a member of several prominent supervillain teams and clashed with several heroes throughout his career, most notably Spider-Man. So, unfortunately, #Rare Spider-Man Forever, I don't think I could go with the Boomerang or Boomerang, although I do enjoy the play on my name. Because I can't be clashing with Spider-Man. I just can't. It's not good. I love Spider-Man.
You should get a tattoo.
I'm okay without that. I would also like to say, as much as I've been, #Rare Spider-Man Forever for like a year now, longer, I just finally pulled the uncommon Spider-Man out of Infinity Gauntlet.
What does the uncommon do?
Oh, of course,
you're asking me. The Overcrush one?
It's the Overcrush one.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a 5 cost, and he has Overcrush, but he costs 1 less for each of your active unique character dice. So you can very easily get 2 character dice in the field, and he becomes a 3 cost. Like a sidekick and something else. So that is also really strong, and I think sort of similar to the Angela in Infinity Gauntlet, where a lot of people are talking about the uncommon because she stops the when fielded effects. The rare, which gives everybody infiltrate, isn't getting as much due. I think it's the same thing opposite here. Rare Spider-Man with his spin down to energy ability when he attacks is overshadowing this cheap Overcrusher with awesome stats. So anyway, let's just say Spider-Man Forever. Maybe that's the new hashtag Spider-Man Forever. So there's that. He also suggested the Stitcher. So that is 2 votes for the Stitcher, completely independent of one another, and some version of that with the Stitch. The Visionist, again, similar to the play on my profession. Madame Opto, he said.
I like that one.
It's a Marvel thing. There are a lot of madams. But he said he's not coming with anything else right off. So really appreciate you sending those suggestions, Andy. I'm really a lot to think about.
I would have to say I do like Madame Opto. And the Visionist is not bad either.
Yeah, I kind of do like the Stitch thing though. Like, I mean, what did I just show you right before we started recording? A cross stitch.
Yeah, you're cross stitching.
I've been working on it for ages because my niece is going to be 1 year old the week that this podcast comes out, and I've been working on it for ages, and I finally finished it today. So I just have to trim off the edges and ship it off to Vancouver where my sister lives with my niece. But I just finished showing Kim this whole stitch thing that I've been working on.
For a year.
Not for a year, on and off. Sometimes I sew things, sometimes I crochet things. I had to make blankets for babies and dice bags for people. And Peter, if you're listening, I promise you I'm working on your dice bags. They're coming. So we're, there's lots of things to do with stitching. So I kind of do like that idea. So, but we'll see. I'm gonna keep thinking. Maybe we'll put up a poll. I'm not sure. Yeah. So that's the mailbag, and then I think we have our coming events section, Kim.
Yes. So coming up on Saturday, December 12th at 2 p.m. is Dice Social. So we set the date. And I copied and pasted the wrong format.
Yeah, you totally did. So
I just looked at that.
Yeah, I'm reading this along with you, Kim, because we have our show notes that we put together, like our prep document. And I'm like, this is the wrong one.
Yeah, I don't know why I copied the right. Okay, here we go. All right, I'll read it off this one. Okay, so you guys get to hear it first. Well, it's a day before it actually, December 1st when we drop it. But so the theme is, since December is, the holiday times and all that, our theme is going to be holiday. Celebrate. Actually, not the celebrate part, but holidays. So similar to our first event where you had to spell out Dice Social. Mm-hmm. This one is very similar, except you're going to spell out holidays, which is 8 letters.
Yeah.
So your basic actions are not included in that, so they can be anything you want. They don't have to go with it. This is golden, green, of course. And this came up last time, so we're saying it again. Anything with the is ignored, so you don't have to use it because it's going to be a T. But if there's like a H after the hawk guy, I don't think there's one that's like that, but you can use the H. So the is ignored in this format.
And if you're listening to this for the very first time and you don't know what Dice Social is, Kim, what is Dice Social?
So we put on Dice Social, this is our third one?
Yep.
Yeah, once every month. And as Jocelyn said at the beginning, it's a casual, fun time. Come out, hang out, meet some new people. If you've never played Dice Masters before, you want to learn, definitely one for you to come out and learn and play. It's just a relaxed environment. We don't keep score. We don't want to know about your heroes and wins or loses or anything like that. We just pair you up, you play for 35 minutes, and we just move on we do about 3 rounds, 2.5 hours or so. And that's what it is. We just want to have fun, chat, talk, and play Dice Masters while we're doing it.
Yep. And we've had really good turnouts for the last couple of events. We've had like 8-ish folks plus ourselves. So it's been great. It's been an opportunity. And like Kim said, we randomly pair you off. It doesn't matter to us who wins or loses. You're just going to get paired off with somebody else next turn. So.
And if you can't fit our theme, don't sweat. Don't worry about it. Build a team of what you have.
Exactly.
If you don't have H's or D's or Y's, doesn't matter. Just build a team and just come and have fun and play Dice Masters.
Yep. So what is Golden, Kim?
So Golden is every set that ever came out for Dice Masters.
Exactly. My worst nightmare. You can build anything you want out of anything that's ever came out. And the idea is, to Kim's point a minute ago, to make it easy for people to join. It doesn't matter if you don't have the newest stuff. It doesn't matter if you don't have meta stuff. We don't want meta stuff. We want you to bring stuff that's crazy and off the wall and you've never played before. Pull something out of your binder that you've never used.
Yeah.
Right? So anything you want, anything in your collection, that's what you can use. And then green. So this came up in conversation last time because the last event we ran was modern green. And the person thought that meant they needed to have a modern card with an uncommon green stripe.
Ah, okay.
So what does green refer to, Kim?
So green is I guess we could say this. It's a traffic light system. Green, okay, I'll go to reverse. Red is usually competitive. Meta related, you're there to win.
Yep.
Pretty much. Yellow, in between green and red, not so competitive, but can be. May not take you 2 turns to do it, may take you 3 or 4 turns to do it, but it can still be a little bit competitive, but not that much. Green is not competitive at all. We want teams that don't make sense or anything like that. As Justin said, you never played with before. Definitely not competitive, not meta. And if you win or lose, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So if I had to quantify that, and I think you did a pretty good job there describing it, Kim, I would say red is like your most optimized team. This is my win con, this is my control, this is how I'm going to control your stuff, this is how I'm going to win, and I have all of the things I need to make me win as fast as possible. Right? Yellow is, it's a kooky combo. You need 4 things to make it happen. Right? It's probably still strong when it goes off, but it's not super optimized, or you don't have everything you need, or you depend on your opponent to hopefully bring you something that you might need to get like ramp or whatever. Not super optimized or very convoluted to get where you're going. And green is, I grab some cards and put them on my mat.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
And they make no sense at all. They don't even go together.
I built a combo that requires 2 7 costs, and I didn't put enough ramp into my thing. Or I've always wanted to play with this card and I don't know how it works, so I'm going to put like 4 different things on my team and figure out how it works. Right? It's about experimenting and having a good time.
Yeah.
So that's green. So golden, green, spell holidays.
Celebrate.
And the only bans we would have would be the WizKids bans in golden, which are Sword of
something.
Light.
Yeah.
Swords of Revealing Light, I think it was from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Relentless, which are 2 basic actions. I don't think anything else is banned in golden. Were we going to ban Wanty, Kim? I know there's not a lot.
Considered as a green event, I'm hoping no brings the super rare Wanty. So I know we can leave it as is, and
we would encourage you to look for other Ys aside from super rare Wanty, which is from the Tomb of Annihilation set, which is a super broken card and should be banned.
So we'll say Yanti falls under the red category.
The super rare does.
Yes, the super rare. I think there's a common one. Is it common or the uncommon one? That's also not too bad, but that's probably yellowy green, maybe.
Yeah, the common is got unblockable when you use an action die, and then the uncommon can't be targeted. So I would say either of those is probably okay. And again, just focus on, you want to play something you haven't played before, you want to play something that is casual, and you want to be able to give it a good game to your opponent. So don't bring the stuff that's super powerful.
Well, it's funny because Yanti only has 3 cards: common, uncommon, and super rare. It doesn't have a rare. But you could actually think of it as green, yellow, red for the stripes. So we're saying right now, Yanti, pure blood, epic humanoid, is a red traffic light. So we don't want that to see that.
Yeah. So anyway, other than that, like we said, it's all about having a good time. So bring stuff, have a good time. And if you can't fit the theme, don't worry about it. Just bring something else. And last time we streamed on Twitch, so if you didn't want to play or you weren't sure and you just wanted to hang out and watch and interact in the chat, that is available as well, because we'll be doing that again, right, Kim?
That's right. It went pretty well last time, and I think I have a fun theme for us for our streaming next time. So
cool. So speaking of streaming and social medias and places you can find us, we got some news.
We have a little announcement, big announcement.
It's definitely drum roll worthy. We have rebranded. So we have decided to. So we got some feedback from Matt that he decided he wanted to rebrand the website, and not the website, but some of the social medias and things like that. And I think it was because Dice Masters North is long. Long thing to type in. And if you've been listening to us for the past 20 episodes and you've heard me say, you can find us at facebook.com/Dice Masters North and Twitter and this and that and all of this Dice Masters North stuff, it is kind of long. So we've shortened it and we've sort of tweaked it. It took a little bit of doing to find something that was available in all the various different socials. And kudos to Kim for coming up with the variety of our name. So our website remains dm-north.com, which is where you can find our articles, our podcast links, links to all kinds of interesting things, our community rooms that you can use to play Dice Masters in, all that sort of stuff there, still at dm-north.com. You can also send us an email at tripledpodcast@dm-north.com. But if you want to find us anywhere else, you're going to find us on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, and Twitch at our new name, which is
DM North TV.
There you go. So DM North TV is where you can find us on all of those socials, and Facebook is at DM North now.
Correct.
Yeah. So there's no TV there. If you search DM North TV, you'll still find it, but it's just DM North instead of Dice Masters North. So that's the new brand, the new name. Just tweaking it down and getting that DM North message into things. Interestingly, lots of places don't like punctuation in the name. So dashes are not acceptable. But dm-north.com will remain our website, and we love the punctuation, don't we, Kim?
We do.
It's all about the punctuation here. So did we have anything else for today's episode, Kim?
I think that's it.
All right. So then until next time, on a double on dice.